He's right here.
Oh, there he is. Okay. All right.
And he's back here. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's giant back there. That Stu would eat your hat, man.
Right?
Big time. Big time. All right. Yo, YouTube back with another live with my good man Charlie from AC3 Cards. And the Stu.
The Stu.
The Stu. So how are things? What's going on?
They're good. They're good. Kind of same old routine though, right? Like listing and shipping and listing. Sales were down a little bit this week overall for me. But that might be so you probably saw on the Discord over the weekend I had someone post a negative feedback because their card didn't arrive. But the tracking shows delivered. Didn't reach out to me at all. Just posted a negative feedback and said card never arrived. I think that affects the algorithm a little bit. It knocks you down for a minute, and then you got to work your way back through it.
Yeah. So here's kind of my take at this point for me on feedback. I don't even really look at it, to be honest with you. It kind of is what it is. If one looks weird, I'll always send a revision request because why not? You're allowed a few per 1,000 feedback you get, and I get 1,500 feedback a week. So
yeah,
I have them, and might as well use them. And I've gotten revisions. So
yeah,
but you can't determine something that what will make someone happy and what will make someone upset. Like you said, you provided good customer service, you shipped it on time, it was tracked, and shows delivered, and the post office dropped it at the wrong door.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do about that. Now, the good news for you is you're protected as far as like if they request a refund or anything. But the feedback, eBay doesn't consider the feedback important, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not important and you just want to throw it all to the wind, but if you're doing the right things, and you're doing customer service and you're responding to them and things like that, you're going to have very, very overwhelmingly positive feedback.
Yeah.
So I'm almost at 12,000 now, I think, like 11,200, something like that. It just doesn't pay for me every day to go through the page of 200 feedbacks I got and read them all,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the true importance of it is more when you're newer, right? And a lot of our viewers here are. By the way, thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate having you here. Those watching after it's recorded, thanks for watching as well. Just so you know, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, we are live on this channel to discuss the goods and the bads, right?
Yeah.
We're starting off with the bads this week. But I think that measure is really best. I shouldn't say best, but I think it's more important for newer sellers, when you're just trying to build your face. Then you get that number up to a certain level and they see you're at 99.9%. I don't think anybody's going to be that concerned about it. When I buy, I'm not. If I go, buy from Johnson's Cards, on eBay and he's got 7,000 feedback and it's 99.8% positive, I feel like I could get a resolution if something happened. I feel like, they're going to actually ship me cards, stuff like that. Once you get to the level where for sure no one thinks you're scamming, then you're good. And then other things just happen. So,
right.
And
I've been in
it's
contact
unfortunate.
with the buyer. We had him wait a couple days. So I think it was Friday he posted the feedback. So then we went through today and he said it still didn't show up. So I said, well, go ahead and open a ticket for item not received. We'll let eBay get engaged here. I think as of the 18th, eBay will jump in. But at least we have a ticket open now or a case open. I mean, I know which way this is going to go because the tracking shows delivered, but Hey, you know,
eBay
sleep.
eBay might refund him if it shows it was delivered to a different zip code, but they
Yeah,
won't. But they won't make you pay for it.
right, right.
So I think either way, you might have some success with that. You can ask eBay to remove that feedback. That
Yeah,
has worked for me.
yeah.
Um, and
Done
go
that
that
before
route.
in cases like this.
Yeah, so you just kind of have to let it play out. Unfortunately, you kind of sit there with the negative, um,
Well,
until things happen. But
wait a
I,
minute. Wait a minute. So I was just about. I pulled up my dashboard, my seller hub, because my feedback has a little box there.
mhm.
I now have 0 negative. It must have
Oh,
shown up today.
there you go.
Like it was literally 3 hours ago when I talked to the buyer and he opened the case, and all of a sudden the negative is gone.
Well, he might. Did you request a revision?
No, no, I just asked
Oh,
him to open a
because
case so we could get it on record.
got it. Because I was gonna say he might have reversed it too. Because my course of action on something like that, and it's only ever happened to me like once, maybe twice in the 20 years I've been doing this.
Yeah,
Um, but my course of action is to first communicate with the buyer, right? Because that's where the real issue is, and then that way I have some conversation to go
yep,
back to if I need to. Then I request a revision because if the customer is willing to go in and just change it, that's by far the easiest solution.
yep,
Um, and then yeah, if you can't get that resolved, then you got to have them file an actual request that they didn't receive it. And then yes, eBay should be able to go in and take care of it, the feedback as well as any refunds if they're going to deem appropriate. Because I did have one where like their zip code was. I'm just going to throw out 5 random numbers, okay? So nobody nail me on this for an address, but let's just say it was 12345, and it got delivered to 12456 zip code. And it's like, well, clearly that's not where this person lives. So what are we supposed to do? Obviously, the customer is not lying. Obviously, I shipped it because it got delivered, and that's exactly what happened. I just had them fill out the request. I sent it to eBay, requested the removal of the feedback, which it kind of stinks because the customer knows that I sent it. It shows delivered.
right.
Um, but again, is what it is. Um, I don't know. I, yeah, it kind of stinks that it gets into that situation, but that's just customer service, right? I mean, you're going to have
Yeah,
some that are, and I think what happens, and I've had this in conversations with customers before too. They're frustrated right away, and they just go negative, and they just pump that thing out there, and then they think about it after, and they're like, oh, I probably should have messaged you, or probably,
right.
and usually you can have a couple, yeah, sorry, sometimes the post office does this, or sometimes, it gets, sent to Chicago and it was supposed to go to California, whatever. And usually you can just kind of work it out and they'll just remove the feedback. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
revision request is pretty awesome because it sends them an email and they literally just click the button in the email and then it'll ask them, it was negative. What do you want to change it to? And they'll change it to positive. They can change their comment, all that. So,
yep.
um, so
Yeah,
that's
I
nice
see that.
too. That's nice too because it doesn't just remove the feedback; it actually changes it to a positive, which is what you really
Right,
want. You
right.
know.
Yeah, I see the case is still open, but the feedback is gone. It doesn't look like it was changed to anything. It's just removed.
Okay.
Um,
Then
and
eBay
then
must have done it.
the delivered to zip code is the same as the address zip code. So I mean everything's in
Okay.
order. Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder where it ended up.
I know.
That's because sometimes what I think about when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, well, how did that actually go anywhere? But
It's a
anywhere
card
but
of
where it's supposed to.
Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig fishing.
Ah, nice. Is that Stadium Club?
No, it's like mega cards or something like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, good. You got that resolved. So we turned our first bad into a good. That's
Yeah,
always fun.
look at that.
So we got the scanner back in your hands at this point. I
Yeah.
dropped it off this past weekend, so I had a pretty good experience with it. I'm kind of sticking with what I intended to scan all along, and then doing my photos on my other stuff.
Yeah.
I think you were kind of trying to expand on it a little bit. How's your experience been since you got it back?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I like to experiment and try some different things with it. So last week or last time I had it, I ran some acetate cards through it, and it worked pretty well. Yesterday I sent through Topps Chrome Rockman because it's all solid color, and I thought that went through pretty well.
Yep.
It's really just reflective. So any of the chrome finish where there's no color, that's where it's going to be a problem. I had some Star Wars stickers that when I got them home and looked at them, a couple of them looked like the glue had dried up and they started coming off the backing paper for me. So I was like, oh, I don't want to handle these any more than I have to. So I actually
Yep.
this morning I tried scanning in the sleeves for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say for the first time. I did run a test the last time I had it, and it wasn't successful. But the first time I did it, I tried to just run them through like normal. So this morning I took out the top roller on the plate, and it worked like a charm then. So it goes through pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean that's good to hear that. We at least have options, right? So if you have the scanner, you could scan them. You could always just do the photos of them.
Yep.
If you don't have a lot of stuff to scan, laying around to scan, you could expand a little bit and grab some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm most excited about. I generally have things, matte white stuff laying around because I do a lot of vintage.
Yeah.
That I just use my scans for that.
Yeah.
That stuff sucks to list one by one anyway. It's so boring.
Yeah.
Versus chrome inserts are kind of fun. Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me, kind of fun, but
Well, and we work kind of differently too. So
mhm.
I work Card Dealer Pro and the scanner totally individually.
Yeah.
So I will scan stuff that won't go through Card Dealer Pro. Like today, I was doing all non-sports stuff. 90% of it is not going to be in Card Dealer Pro, but I still scan batches through the scanner, and then I just upload the photo onto my listings because I list more on my desktop now than I do on my phone.
Yeah, and I definitely list on my desktop too when I'm using the scanner, because for obvious reasons, it goes,
Yeah.
pictures go right in there. But yeah, I don't. My stuff is it's all done in small batches, and then it's scanned, listed, done, bagged, and put away. So, but again, I have a little bit more luxury in the fact that I'm just here
Yeah.
doing this. I don't have to. I did a lot of what you're doing, just in a different way because you didn't have a scanner, obviously. But I did a lot of that before, when I had to do it mobile. When I had to be at an office somewhere.
Right.
What else are you going to do? So that would have been nice to have the scanner at that time because I could have just
Yeah.
worked them up, without having to take cards with me somewhere, and that's never ideal. Um, but yeah, so that's good. I think we've been very pleased with the scanner. I think it's long term. It is definitely going to be a great investment. I could even see at some point, depending on what our volumes get to, we might each want a scanner. Who knows? I don't need the feeder. We're different that way too. You're putting bigger chunks of cards in at once. I like just doing my my batch one by one. I have my 50 cards, or whatever the account is around that number, and then I bag them and I'm done. I
Yeah.
just change all the SKU for all of them at one time. So yeah, I think the whole reason I wanted to bring this up was, we get asked a lot about, well, how do you do that? How do you do this or how do you do that? There's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. You skin a goat, right? To skin a goat. Um, so yeah, I think as long as you have the quality scanner and one that works with Card Dealer Pro, you can find your own way to do it. And I think that's going to be important because not everybody's doing this the same way or has the same availability.
Right.
Do it one way. If I end up doing stuff more mobile, well, maybe I'll be scanning and then just using them later as well.
Yeah.
I think it's cool you can scan and just pick them up right on your phone.
Right. Right.
It's that's something that would have held me back previously if you couldn't do that.
Hmm.
Um, so I like that. That's something that's a definite that you can do.
Yeah.
You had mentioned a little bit earlier about Discord. How do you think that's going?
I think that's going well. It's a
Nice.
lively conversation out there every day, and
Yep.
some fun stuff, some educational stuff, a little bit of everything out there. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of good viewers and community that's sharing, which is nice. It was when I started out, it was just me making videos, and you were just forced to listen to me. Nobody could really participate in it. Yeah, I mean, you can post questions, but posting on a video is not the same as a chat or a server channel or something like that, where you can a
Right.
forum, whatever you want to call it, a Discord. So yeah, I've been very pleased with that. I think I've gotten some decent requests for different types of channels. I've added a couple myself that I thought would be fun, and it feels like we're getting some good growth in there, and a lot of people are participating, showing what they sold. Hey, I finally sold a promoted listing. This is what I sold. Here's some stuff I picked up. I put those Lord of the Rings cards in there, yesterday as just kind of a fun side pickup post. So I think it's somebody posted the Otani shoes. I love those cards.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
flashiest feet into
flashing feet. Is it flash your feet or flash the feet
flashiest
or
feet. Yeah.
flash? Yeah. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a great way for everybody to participate. I like it because also on the YouTube, it was just me. Like I had to monitor that. I was the only one who could respond, and you've done a great job in the Discord, jumping in and adding content and replying to posts and comments and questions and things like that. So it's been really good to have another partner project with you versus just the live. Um, so yeah, I hope to continue to grow that. Maybe we'll get us to a server level where we can expand and add some new features. Um, but we got to get the membership size big enough to warrant that.
Yep.
So if any of you are watching this and aren't on the Discord and are interested in such a thing, it's an easy app you can download on your phone. It's Discord, and then you would just search for the Dollar Box, and we have our own server on there. There is a referral link. I'm trying to point. It's down here, down here, down here, right down there, right now. Hurry up! It's moving. It's moving.
It's right at
Here
the
it comes.
Discord right now, actually.
Here it comes. Here
Yeah.
it comes.
Yeah.
So anyway, consider joining the Discord. It is free. Your participation level on there is up to you. You can just observe and watch and read, or you can post and share.
Yep.
We do allow photos, videos. I do sort of mediate it. I do watch. We want to make sure that the content stays clean. But outside of that, you can really put anything on there that you want. So
Yeah.
pretty fun. I really enjoy it.
And it's part of the idea carries on from the live in that we really want to foster a community, right? Like
Hmm.
it's great that in the live we see so many names we know, even if it's just a screen name. Um, but
Yeah.
we have regular viewers that we look forward to chatting with every week. And then the Discord is kind of taking that to a 24/7 type of environment. And when you and I aren't able to participate,
Yeah.
everyone's talking to each other, which is awesome to see. Sometimes I honestly just sit back and watch the discussions because I love it.
Yeah, I do too. And this week it was extra important. I've had a hard time even getting any videos out this week. There's just so much extracurricular things at my house right now. Some good, some bad, but just things that are taking attention
Yeah.
um, away from what I'm trying to get accomplished every day. There's your have tos, right? I got to ship. I got a list. I gotta, those I can't put aside. So I've been certainly my focus is there, and those have been held up just fine. But yeah, making some videos and doing more posts and things like that has been a little bit more limited. So I really appreciate everybody stepping up and helping the community out and having some fun with it. And you get a chance. There's a place for you on there to post the link to your store, your Instagram, stuff like that, so you can get yourself out there a little bit more, as well as share your listing count. And so we have some pretty cool channels on there, I think, that are fun and definitely growing, and there's participation in all of them. So
yeah.
Anyway, so just a little plug for the Discord, and your thoughts are pretty much in line with mine on how that's going. I'm pleasantly surprised at the amount of activity in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another Discord like that for what we do. So I haven't really searched them out at all. I know Bo has a Discord, but I'm not quite sure what the channels and topics and stuff are going on in there. I would assume it's pretty similar. So anyway, so we know there's a lot of other places you could spend your time and make your posts. So we want everybody to know we appreciate you participating in the Discord and making it a success. And we'll keep working at it. We can always add more channels too. So if there's other things that pop up or things that you think of, don't hesitate to message us, put it in the Discord, chat on here live. We're trying to get as many branches out there as we can to make sure we get all the needs met. So the one other thing I really wanted to share today, or in this live, is pickups. I bought a bunch of stuff online, which I haven't done in a while. Have you been shopping online at all? We haven't done a show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we got a couple weeks to go yet. So I was wondering if what do you do in the meantime when we're not doing shows? Are you looking for things to buy, or are you just kind of focusing on listing what you got? Or
yeah, it just depends on where I'm at with everything. So right now I'm more focused on listing, trying to get closer to a place where when I go to a show, it's more about something specifically I need, versus, yeah, I know I can move this, but I also know that I have a monster box full of stuff like this at home that I haven't listed yet, right?
Yeah.
So I think with the scanner, I've been more focused on, okay, let's get caught up on some of this backlog. And then we can be a little more tactical with our buys at stores. Will I be? I don't know. I'll probably still buy things just because I like it. But I've been focusing on listing. I have, there's been a time here and there where I browsed around eBay a little bit, but haven't really pulled the trigger on any sales other than some personal purchases to get. I really like an insert set in the new top set, so I bought a couple cards in that because I want to get the full insert set.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to. I tend to sort of get the same types of things at shows, right? You kind of find the same things being sold, lower end parallels in the major sports, right? Football, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep just pumping my store full of that stuff. I have lots of other things that sell very well. So I'm trying to fill some more. Now that as your store grows, you end up getting more capital you can use. When I first went full time, I needed money to live on. Now it's like I have more things coming in, and I can use some of that to add to the growth again. So I had a decent pile of money set aside that isn't going to be for our show because we're not doing a show in a couple of weeks. So I decided to kind of put that to work online and buy some things. And but yeah, I had quite a bit of backstock too, so I was kind of thinking like you. I got so much of it listed now. Just being able to run through. I already ran like 2,200 cards through the scanner, something like that.
Yeah.
And then just diligent. Staying diligent. The app has been improved quite a bit, so my listing is even faster on there and more accurate. It's easier to price things, stuff like that. So I felt pretty comfortable that I could pick up some things outside that. Now, that being said, we have to be careful because the National creeps upon us here, and that's a good 10,000 card pickup. So, or it will be for me anyway.
Yeah.
That is the gold mine. So we'll see. I got to get a couple of these monster boxes cleared out. Now I'm surprised at how many dime cards I sold at the last show. So that actually helps too, because I can maybe take some of that stuff that I don't really want to list or don't feel like I should list, and I can just throw that in those boxes too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Right after I pulled stacks of cards out of them,
Yeah.
a revolving door to some degree. But anyway, I thought I'd share some of the lots that I was buying online. They are all non-sport because that is the thing that I generally don't find at shows, at least not in quantities or variety or prices that I could online. So I don't know if I want to share. I don't think I want to share my screen, but I'll just kind of tell you what I picked up and what I paid for it. I thought that might be something fun for viewers too, because I get the questions I get asked the most is about non-sport cards.
Yeah.
I think it's just they're a little harder to under. Like I think, okay, I'm going to buy football and I buy Prism cards and silvers, and you know what I mean. I think there's kind of like a standard like a general understanding of how to participate in the sports card market, and then the non-sport gets kind of weird.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you probably, if you are in the Discord, you probably saw I did buy a nice lot of Lord of the Rings cards. So I've got some stained glass inserts here. Kind of got a tip off on these from Charlie because he had picked up a couple at the Milwaukee show, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a Milwaukee show.
Almost a year ago now, something like that. And I love anything that's got a stained glass look is just amazing. So I was all about it, and I'm like, if I find any of those, and that was kind of what kicked off my non-sport buying spree because I found this little lot. So I've got like 6 the stained glass cards, and then there was also some of these foil etched inserts, which are the Dufex foil, which if you've been watching my channel for any sort of time, you know that's my jam on 90s cards, Dufex foil inserts. I mean, look at this Gandalf. It's freaking sweet, right? That dimension with the etching. Anyway, so I was really happy about that, and I picked up all those cards. It's 11 cards, and for $1.29 plus shipping. So that's a no-brainer. I mean, the stained glass you're looking at $7 to $10 a piece generally. So that was the first lot, and then next one I stumbled upon was some more Ren and Stimpy. So Ren and Stimpy, yeah, I know it's weird, but I tend to still be able to find them in decent sized lots for a good price, and I sell a crap ton of them. And the other nice thing with most of the non-sport cards is people don't make offers; they just buy them. I don't know why that is. It's not as much of an investor market as sports cards and things like that. So I'll have I'll have somebody buy like 10 Ren and Stimpy cards, and they don't even use the coupon code; they just flat out pay for them. So I tend to be able to maintain my margins a little bit better on those cards. But so it's the Prism ones, where it's got the circular Prism option, and then it's got I'm sure you've all seen that before with those. Well, here, I can grab it.
Yeah, you've had good success with the Ren and Stimpies.
Yeah, I kill it on those. So there's these sticker versions which have like kind of a Starfield background to the foil, and then there's a little like peel here mark, like most of the stickers. And then there's these different options for the Prism. So this is like, I call it a laser foil. Things is just like these random laser marks all over the card. And then there's the circular Prism. Now each card in the set has these different Prism versions. So there's technically 3 cards, actually 4, of each version of card. So that's the other thing. It's actually a pretty massive set when you look at it that way. So the same card that I just showed in the circular Prism, this is what I call the splatter Prism. It just kind of has like a splatter pattern in the background. And then the last one, let's see if I got one. Actually, that's it. So there's the splatter, the laser, and the circles. Yeah, and then the sticker. So that's kind of the beauty of it. I think, like, I love things that have like a whole little series you have to get, because what happens is somebody gets one of the sticker ones, and then they're like, well, now I need the laser one, and now I need the circular prism one. And it just kind of goes from there. That's kind of how collecting gets built. And then there was also a bunch of these, the 3D Vision ones from the Nickelodeon stuff.
Okay.
Those will be in it. These aren't the cards I bought in that lot, but these are the cards, but not the actual cards that I just bought. That makes sense. Tripping over a hole here. But anyway, I got 64 cards, 4 sticker cards, which the sticker cards actually don't do as well. The Prism cards do better, so I was happy that it was more Prism and less stickers in this instance. And then the 7 3D cards, and I got all those for $20.
Yeah.
And I get like $3 to $5 a piece on those. So, the last lot I bought was huge. It was like 150 or 180 cards. So I haven't bought any in a while, but the pile is just, I sell 3 or 4 a week, at least. Sometimes 8 or 10 at a time, for people buying quantity. But three to 4 orders at least per week. So I wasn't intending to buy Ren and Stimpy, but that was a good buy. And how many Ren and Stimpy cards have you ever seen at a show?
0.
So that's the thing. And if you're going to buy them online, you got to buy a quantity, because otherwise shipping and all that kills you on the margin. So
definitely.
Anyway, so
if I had money at a show, I would have bought it.
Yeah. Well, exactly. See what I mean? That's exactly right. So I paid about 18 cents a piece for them. So I was pretty pleased with that. Then my next purchase, which is actually my favorite one, is I bought a big lot of Nintendo Power cards. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They were in the magazines. You know my love for Sports Illustrated for kids.
Remember the Nintendo Power magazine?
Yep, Nintendo Power magazine. So they'd have 9 on a sheet, just like Sports Illustrated for kids. And it was basically just kind of a picture of a scene in a game, right? So that's what's cool about it. It's all these different Nintendo properties. So there's I'll pull up some of the games that are in this. So there's Zelda, there's Super Mario Brothers 3, Kirby's Adventures, Battletoads, let's see, Batman, Mortal Kombat, Metroid, The Simpsons, F-Zero, just all these legendary things. And this is the only thing they have cards in, right? I mean, there isn't a set of Battletoads cards out there. So they were tarot cards. So a lot of them got wrecked. A lot of them are still in the magazines. A lot of them got thrown out. Burned, shredded, whatever, got ripped poorly. Were used as bookmarks in the magazines. I can remember friends of mine when I was a kid, they would use those as their bookmarks.
Sure.
In the Nintendo Power magazine. So these are in really nice shape, and I got a great price on them. So I got 150 of those cards for $30.
Oh.
So I was really happy about that. Was there shipping on this? Let me see. Yeah, $7 shipping. So there's a pretty serious shipping amount, but they were asking $39.99. I got them to drop $10 on the price. So basically, that covered my shipping, if you want to think of it that way. So I was pleased with that. And I've sold some of those before. So like the Street Fighter stuff does really, the Mortal Kombat, I can get like $10 to $15 just for the Mortal Kombat card. So, let's see. Next, I bought another Pac-Man lot, another one of my ringers. I love my Pac-Mans. And I'll tell you the reason why. I was, again, not necessarily looking for Pac-Mans, but I kind of go back to what has sold well lately and what have I not bought lately. And I sold a whole bunch of Pac-Man in the last probably month or two. It's been really hot, so it was about time. So I got a lot of 120 of those for $40. Now those are never super cheap. They're from 1980, so they're vintage and all that stuff. They weren't highly printed, and there are some variations to them. There's different colored backs and things like that. So you have some. You can sell multiples of some of the stickers just due to variation. So so pretty happy about that. But so that's basic. So I kind of look at that as just a restock more than anything else, because those are all stickers that I would have had not that long ago. Then I bought a lot of 2005 Topps King Kong 8th Wonder of the World sticker set. And there is 12 cards in it, and I paid $8, which, now, that sounds like a lot. But I've bought insert cards from those mid-2000 sets. So, like the Batman Beyond one. No, was it Batman Beyond? One of the Batman one. One of the Batman ones, the Superman, there was a Superman like animated set in the mid-2000s. They didn't print hardly any of that, and you never find any of it available. This is the very first time I've ever seen these King Kong stickers. King Kong has a big following. He's relevant, that he's still making movies with Godzilla and stuff like that. They're kind of cool looking sticker cards if you haven't seen them before. And so I'll probably be asking like $8 to $10 a piece for those. And I'm willing to sit on the price on those a bit, because I don't know if I'll ever see them again. They're this like funky green, like sage green color for the background, and they're baller. So if you haven't seen them before, check them out. Here, maybe I'll do I don't think I can share my screen.
So you bought them? They haven't been delivered yet?
No, these are all things I just ordered like in the last day or two.
Okay.
Let me go in and also go in and see if I can share I think I will share my screen. It's so hard to describe something like this, right? So I gotta enter this studio. I wish I could get my webcam to work. That would make things simpler. I think I have an extra webcam laying around here too, so maybe that's something that
I've probably thrown out plenty of webcams over the years because nobody needs them anymore.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Okay, so let's do a prevent share screen. And my eBay.
Any plans for St. Patrick's Day this weekend?
Some green beer, a little bit. Look at that. There it is. Ooh, see those? Yeah. So yeah, the asking was $11.99. I got them for $8 flat. It's not, that probably won't show on the screen here, but yeah. So I think these are really cool, don't you? Kind of different looking, and
yeah, I haven't seen something.
Yeah, Kong feature, and these caught my eye. First of all, I like the green color. I thought that was kind of poppy versus how most of the sticker cards look. And they look exactly like those Batman ones that I was killing it on. Fortunately, I bought those Batman ones at the National. I paid probably 2 to 5 cents a piece for. Yeah. But you have to understand, realistically, buying them online, you're probably not going to get that price. You can't buy that kind of bulk. But I sold all the Superman ones and all the Batman ones from like that same year, and they all went for my asking price. And in quantities, people were buying like sets of them because they just don't show up. So anyway, pretty excited about that one. I will take my screen share down here on that then. Remove. Look at that. Boy, this is actually easier doing it through the PC than.
It's definitely easier on the PC.
Shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Then the next one, okay, I'm going to have you take a look at this one, and you tell me why I bought this. This is a mixed lot of non-sport cards, okay?
All right.
It says 100 plus, so I'm guessing there's probably,
103.
Yeah, I've seen that before. 110 is probably the max.
Yeah.
I ended up paying, what did I pay for it? $6. In the end, original asking price was $12.95. They had it on sale for $9 to $9.71 and I paid $6. But I am going to screen share this. And I don't know if you can see that very well or not.
Universal Monsters, Adams Family.
I wonder if can I blow this up? If I blow it up, does it blow it up there? Should. Okay. Here, I'll kind of wander around a little bit. You tell me what you like.
Tisha. Let's see, the Riddler.
So those are the old Adams Family cards, first of all. So that is one of the
black and white
things that attracted me. So can you see in the middle here all the Universal Monsters next to the Adams Family?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with those though.
So those are huge sellers. Monster collectors are they will spend a lot. So can you see what's over here on this bottom left corner? What these are?
Monty Python.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail, another huge cult following type movie franchise. You've got some more monster. Whoops, you got some more monsters over here. You can see you see Frankenstein kind of poking out there.
Yeah.
Okay, up here, can you see the Creature from the Black Lagoon and the Mummy and stuff like that? Now we come up to some kind of the weird here. There's a few Upper Deck baseball cards, some Dick Tracy. These here are the movie cards, the horror film cards. See where it says it has
Fright
The Shining on there. Huh?
Is it Fright Flicks?
Yep. Well, it's not Fright Flicks, but it's the same idea. So it's a bunch of horror film and sci-fi film type stuff. Easy money. And then we got some more Upper Deck stuff here. I don't think there's anything really of value in there. I don't care about the baseball cards. Then here we've got our superheroes, right? Some Spider-Man, Venom. I just sold a Venom card today, actually. So easy money there. But here's your real winners. The Mortal Kombat cards.
Yeah.
I've talked about these in the past, right? I don't want to go that way because there's other stuff over there. But look at all these Mortal Kombat cards, all these red ones up here. And just easy money if you can get them. Especially the character cards, like you can see here where it's got the Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
You can see him there. Then we've got the Aliens, the filmography or whatever ones. Those are pretty cool. So I think those actually came with like the action figures or something. They were an pack insert that way. I'm not sure what these Space Marines ones are, but they look cool enough to get a sale out of for sure. So
I remember something about those. Well, that's from Aliens too. So there's a Ripley, a Bishop, and a Drake. Those were the.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that must have been something with maybe the action figures too.
Yeah.
Some of their bio cards or whatever, and there's a few of them hidden in there. So I'm pretty excited. You know, if even one or two of these baseball cards works out to something, you know, I'm good with that too. But for what did I pay? $6? Hold on, I gotta go back here. But I'm gonna stop sharing first. Okay, let me go see what I paid for it. Pretty sure it was $6. You have to go back to your actual purchase screen in order to see it. It's kind of random. Yes, $6 flat is what I paid for it. So take chances on stuff like that. So for me, like I know the Ren and Stimpy stuff sells, right? So if I can get it for the right price, I just buy it. The Pac-Man stuff, I know I can sell, I just buy it. So this is the kind of stuff that I like, and the reason I wanted to share these is kind of show you my thoughts on how I do this. This is the kind of stuff where you can get some things you hadn't bought before and you can give it a try, right? Without much risk. It was $6, and I know I got like $30 worth of Mortal Kombat cards in there, at least. So plus a few others, you know, that I've sold before. Monty Python ones have done well. Universal Monster stuff always sells. So I'm excited to try the Alien bio cards. I think those could be cool. So I got that lot. Now, here's one. I don't really need to show this one. So Gremlins stickers also do really well for me, the sticker cards. I bought 10 complete sets of 11 stickers. Okay, so 110 stickers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 complete 11 sticker sets for $7.50.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
hot. That's incredible.
yep, yep. So and I can show you this one if you want to see it. I did not negotiate. I just flat out paid $7.50 because it was the real. Now he has other multiples of these sets. So the problem is I don't want everybody going out and buying these
Right.
and we all list them, right? You see what I mean? We could end up killing each other. So the reason I wanted to kind of mention this one was just for that fact that, oops, no, I hit remove right away. I just kind of wanted to mention that you kind of have to find your own little niches to these things because if we're all just throwing up the same thing, we're not really going to get anywhere. Supply and demand is the thing. Now, these sticker cards aren't super hot. Like I won't list them and they'll all sell in a day, but I sell a few here and there. Plus, I sell sticker cards of a lot of other movies and shows, so it becomes like a tag on, right? I'll have somebody buy an A-Team sticker and an Alf sticker and a Gremlin sticker. Um, and those are all from Gremlins 1, not Gremlins 2. Those stickers are a little harder to get.
Yep.
Come by, they weren't as printed as highly. But pretty fun purchase there. And then I think I have one more lot. Let me take a look here. My memory is for crap, so I have to look everything up. Oh, 2 lots. I bought 2 Ninja Turtles lots. I got one with it's 52 cards. No, sorry, 42 cards and 30 stickers. Obviously, the stickers are the real money there for $6. Some of the cards are like the main character cards; those sell pretty well, so you can sell those on their own. And then the stickers, obviously have their own market. And then I bought another. Did I say what I paid for that one?
Mm-mm.
I paid $6 for that lot. So a good buy there. And I bought another turtles lot, and again, kind of a restock. I bought a big chunk of turtles, over the last year or two, and they just pluck, 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 pluck. And most of the characters I don't even have a sticker of anymore. So it was time to sort of reload that. So this next one, and those are all the original Turtles cards. So the ones with the yellow border that everybody's familiar with, if you do Turtle cards. Then this other lot that I bought. Do you want me to? Should I put them on screen?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I'll put these on screen here, so you can know at least what I'm talking about. So these are the Turtles ones that I bought. I can click on the picture.
Okay.
So with this yellow border and stuff, and then these are the cards that came with it. So the cards I'm not as excited about, I'll put those in lots for the non-main like character cards, if you want to
Right.
call it that. And then the character ones, I generally will sell like $3 to $4 a piece. They actually do really well. So kind of a nice bonus there that I have cards in there I can sell. All right, let's go back and look at. Here's the last. Well, I have 2 more. So here is here, I can go down here. This is that Lord of the Rings order for $1.29. So you can see I paid $1.29. Now that I bought, oh crap. You have to load this whole stupid thing every time. So that one was actually an auction. So I bid $1 and won it for $1.29. So you can, find decent lots on auction too that you can pay a lot less for. The last set of stained glass cards that I saw sold for like $39. So, and I don't have all the stained glass cards, but I do have some of the etched cards. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah.
So I sort of felt like, well, I should at least come to that same value. Okay. One more. Well, actually, 2 more because there's one more turtles, and then I have one other lot. You guys are lucky because I was going to put this on the Patreon, and I decided not to. But going forward, my sneak plays are going to be on there. So, but I get it. Like I said, I get a lot of questions on non-sports, so I wanted to put something up here. Now, I like this one. Same thing, and I can tell, like, there's the Michelangelo card. Can you see that right in the middle there? So I know there's going to be some character cards, and there's a lot more cards in this one. But I got it for $10.95, right? I mean, can't really go wrong. Look at how many stickers are there. Now they're not in perfect shape, but I think that'll be okay. So there's like probably 25 or 30 stickers there, I would say. You know, just kind of looking at it through the image. They don't specifically say what's there. Then what's kind of cool, a bunch of Series 2 stickers or cards, excuse me. Most of those don't have any value all on their own, except do you see the little rabbit there?
Mm-hmm.
I think his name is Yojimbo. He's got a huge fan base, so I know that card I can sell individually. And then here's a bunch of the stickers from Series 2. Those don't generally sell as well as the Series 1 ones, but again, over time you'll definitely find buyers. Especially like I said, if somebody's coming in to buy some of the yellow ones and they need a couple of the blue ones, that's your best shot at getting to sell those. And then last but not least, some of the movie cards. What I like about these is some of these are the behind the scenes ones. There's some with like Jim Henson in it and stuff like that. Those do pretty well. And then some of the movie stickers. So there's just like 2 of the movie stickers. Now, there isn't much of the movie stuff, but they're not the best sellers, right? So I don't really care. These are just kind of bonuses to some degree. So that's that buy. So real nice price there. And then this last one is this one here. It's going to make me go through all those stupid pictures first. There we go. An Indiana Jones sticker lot.
Oh.
I think they're cool. I think they look cool just with the plain white background. Willie, hurry up. There's no escape. I sound nothing like Harrison Ford.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Trust me. I like this. You got the collie guy or whatever.
Yeah.
He's in there. So, yeah, I thought that was fun. $5. I haven't really tried these before, but I like $5. It's only 88-cent shipping. They seem to be in pretty decent shape. It's Harrison Ford. Can't really go wrong. You know, you might find a buyer who wants some of these to go with Star Wars stickers they're buying from you, something like that. So, so that's it. Those were my non-sport. Oops, shoot, I closed it. Oh, good enough. Those were my non-sport purchases in the last 2 days. So
Nice.
the total for all those purchases was $47.85. Is what I spent, and you saw how much I got coming.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. The Ren and Stimpy is going to be a nice restock. I definitely need some more of those. I'm going to get rid of my StreamYard on here so I don't have double sound going through my computer. But what are your thoughts? Are those things you guys would buy? Does that help maybe to answer some questions about what the hell do I buy for non-sports? What do I look for? I really like the random lots, but you kind of have to dig through them. So you need some time to really do that. And searching them out is obviously tough because what do you search by when it's random? But you can search, random non-sport lot. You can search non-sport sticker cards. You can search a specific thing. I have as you guys see, I have my certain things that I sell for me all the time. So I just constantly, look for different lots in those areas. As a matter of fact, I got a Pac-Man buyer who comes by every few days or a week, whatever, and buys a little stack of Pac-Man stickers that he needs for his sets. Now, Pac-Man actually has 4 different sets. So there's Pac-Man from 1980. Then there's 1982 Pac-Man. Then there's Miss Pac-Man stickers, and then there's Super Pac-Man. The Super Pac-Man ones are by far the hardest ones to find. So you usually have to pay up to get those, but you can sell them for more. So if you have a Pac-Man collector and you're getting some from kind of all of those, so that ends up being a pretty big thing to collect. Set to collect when you take into account that there's 4 sets. And the other thing with some of those, you got to be careful of. A lot of them, they'll throw in a few stickers and then a whole bunch of like the scratch off cards.
Yeah.
And I've sold the scratch off cards. If they're in it, kind of like that, those Turtle movie cards are kind of a bonus for me. If they're in there, fine. But you certainly don't want to pay much for them because they're a tougher sell. If they're unscratched, you got a shot at getting a little bit for them. You can maybe get $2 for it. If they're scratched off, you might as well just put them in a lot and try to get $1 or $2 for a stack of them. There aren't very many buyers that want them scratched off. So that's it. That was my non-sport buys. We're an hour in on this thing, so we should probably get to some chat. And it's so much more fun to buy non-sport cards. I don't know what it is. It's like, I love buying a Patrick Mahomes lot or whatever, but that's just kind of like churn stuff for me.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting, a lot of it, because we're buying low end, right? We're not getting fancy inserts or anything like that. Although I did rip that Shohei Ohtani out of a random pack yesterday. That was pretty solid.
Yeah, I saw that.
Case hit. So you can pull that off once in a while, but yeah, it's we're generally not looking at the super exciting stuff. On the day-to-day basis with what we buy. All right, so let's see. We've got Matt here. He says, "Yo, yo, yo." Come on now. He says, "Yo, yo, yo, fellas." Stealing my line right off the top of the chat here. Welcome, Matt. Thanks for joining us. And let's see. Robert is here. How goes it? It goes well. We're an hour in, so we're going to try to catch up here a little bit. Sean is here with us. Hello, Sean. Dan is here. I remembered his name.
You did. Good, huh? Good job.
Pretty good. Good evening, all. Is it Friday yet? I hope not. I have too much to do yet. Weston is here. He's got the big pig hand wave. At first, I thought that had too many fingers. Maybe I should put my glasses back on.
It's like Simpsons hands.
Yeah, kind of. Welcome, Weston. I saw your package got delivered to you with the Rowdy Tellez patch, so I hope you enjoy that and it got there okay. Matt says, Charlie, you can get that negative removed through eBay. Yeah, we talked about that.
Taken care of.
Matt's the gentleman who kind of showed me the easy way to navigate to that.
Absolutely. So friend of the show.
Owe him a big thanks for that. Revision request, eBay automatically removes negative. Yep. Andrew is here. Welcome, Andrew. Adam, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers potentially running as VP for RFK Jr. as an independent? Obviously, they won't win, but his card interest will go up. Very oddball cue. Yeah. I mean, I kind of fire sale Aaron Rodgers whenever I can because I hate the guy. So, I just sold him 2005 Upper Deck Aaron Rodgers rookie a few days ago. So, maybe that's putting some juice in the market. So is he not playing football then? Is that kind of hard to play? So he's going to run for vice president and play pro football? I don't know. I don't think those things go together.
He shoots his mouth off.
Yeah. I don't know how much of an independent he really is, so that would probably be my biggest thing that I would question. But yeah, smart guy. Maybe he could do some good. I don't know. I'm willing to listen to anybody who wants to get into politics and play that horrible game. I'm willing to listen to you and make an educated decision when I vote. I don't know much about their platform. I don't really know much about JFK. I do know that at some point I would love to see an independent actually win. Because I think our two-party system is an issue, but I don't want to get into a bunch of politics conversation on here. But the fact that people are willing to run independent, I think, is pretty cool. Any
If you
comments,
have
Charlie?
money.
Huh?
If you have money.
Oh, you can only do it if you have money.
Right.
I mean, almost Ross Perot ran a pretty solid campaign, but it almost made him broke. And
Right.
that guy owned a oil refining patent, and like, dude, you can't get any more money than that. And he almost burned through it. All right, Sporto has joined us. Welcome, Sporto. Some clown today opened a case on an item that shows delivered to mailbox, but he claims he hasn't received the ground advantage delivery. Could have messaged first, even though there's nothing more to be done. Yeah, it's like I said, it tends to be a knee-jerk reaction. People just throw a negative out there. Your best bet is to just try to communicate with the customer and see if you can figure something out. Matt's not wrong. You can go to eBay and they'll be like, "What the heck? We can remove this," but that doesn't really resolve your relationship with the customer, right? And that's the part of that I don't like. I want to try to keep a customer or make a customer happy, even if it's just word of mouth to the next guy, or they're in some eBay group or a Facebook group with cards or something. You don't necessarily want, now there's limits to that. You have to, stand your ground on certain things too, but I'd rather have the customer get some resolve, have some communication with me, and, maybe even retain them as a customer. I had it once where it wasn't that long ago. Somebody had left me a negative. And I messaged them and I'm like, "Why didn't you say anything?" They're like, I was just mad, so I just left a negative. And I said, "Well, it says you don't take returns." And I'm like, "I take returns. I think you read that wrong." Or I said, "Request a return and I'll accept it." And he's like, "Well, you don't have to do that." He's like, "I gave you a negative. I shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Well, I can send you something to revise it, if you want to change your mind on it." I said, "But return the card. I'll refund you, no problem." So I didn't hear from him for like a day. He did revise the feedback, which was good. And then the next day he messaged me and he's like, "Actually, I'll return the card." But he said, "I have some other cards I want to buy. So can you just send me another card?" And then the other cards that I order with it. So I ended up getting a sale out of it, right? So that little bit of effort can help you sort of turn that whole thing around. And I think he'll only speak positively of his experience with me going forward. So that's really the ultimate goal. And there's the customer service part of it. So having eBay jump in on everything should be a last resort. You should be trying to resolve those things yourself. All right, Bill is with us. Hey, Bill. Good evening. He says, "Guys, love the pickups and sales day videos this week. Love having them on as I am listing my cards. I missed them last week." Yeah, and you know what's funny? The one I released one just a couple hours ago, Charlie, if you didn't know that. But I actually filmed it on like the 7th of March, so it was like
It's in the can a while.
Sales day. Yeah, I just haven't had time. There's been so much, like I said, so much extra things going on. But I was happy to have a few minutes today to just kind of sit down and pound that out. They do take some work. I got to chop the sale and put that in there, and do a little editing and things like that. So, and the more I do this, the longer my sales day videos are because I'm getting more sales. Right, Charlie?
That's right.
So
they take a lot more work than I anticipated when I started doing it. Like,
yes, it is.
Last Friday, I started around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I stopped for the night at about 3 a.m. and then I spent all day Saturday editing and uploading and just to get 3 hours of video out there.
Yeah, so and it's a labor of love when you first start too, because there isn't even any income out of it. So it's yeah, we appreciate everybody watching it, and thanks. Please give us thumbs up if you like the videos, because that allows us to keep going and helps YouTube find other people who would want to watch it. There's been several times, like a dozen, since I started doing YouTube, where I was like, I'm not making sales day videos anymore. Nobody likes them, nobody watches, and then every once in a while I get a, hey, I love the sales day videos, or hey, you haven't made a sales day video in a while, and it just kind of boots me back into it. I don't know. I used to do pickups videos too, because I used to buy a lot, almost all my stuff I bought online. And I didn't ever really get any views on them. And, I should say none, but they were smaller viewed. So that's why I kind of started making videos where I would combine it, right? I would do some sales and I would talk about, a topic, or try to put some sort of experience or educational piece in with it, just to help the videos get views and things like that. And that's really helped. But now I've actually seen some switch where I wasn't getting as many views on the sales day videos as some of the other videos. Now I'm getting more views on sales day videos than some of the other types of videos. Even the show videos sometimes don't do, out the gate anyway, don't do as well as. So I think it's the case on those where you just have to build the audience for that, right? So like Bill here, hey, you made a sales day video. Like, there's people just waiting for those videos now, and they just love to let them run, in the background when you're doing other stuff or whatever. So
yeah, I talked about that a little bit too in the comments on my recent video, and actually in the shooting of the video, I talked about it just chatting through the cards too. Is that I've kind of messed back and forth between short formats and long formats, and I find that a lot of people do like the long formats. And as a watcher, I do the same thing. Like, when I'm working from home, I'll usually have one on in the background on the TV while I'm working, not watching intently the whole time, but I'm listening a little bit, and then occasionally I'm like, oh, I want to see that, right?
Yeah, I do the exact same. So yeah, I think it's great. Because you don't have to pay super attention to it, right? Like, you can kind of pop your head up when a card gets mentioned, whatever the case may be. So yeah, my intention is to continue to make them and stuff, and hopefully I'll have, in the very near future, when I have a couple other things settled in my other life, I'll get back to trying to do like 3 to 4 a week. So I appreciate y'all sticking with me. There's going to be more content to come, I promise. So we do have some comments here about loving the Discord. Bill loves the Discord. Average Graves Cards is here. Welcome. He loves the Discord as well. I'm glad that everybody's enjoying it. MD says, should have come to Moz and E last weekend. Great show. Tons of variety. Might have to throw that one on our list.
Moz and E show. I didn't see that one.
I didn't see that one either. Weston wants to know if I've ever tried buying off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Yes, I have, and I don't like it. So, now, if I was going to buy like a ginormous collection, right? I know, and some of you probably do this, where you want I want 15 monster boxes full of cards. That would be definitely something I would want to do on a local. I've sold some cards that way through Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, I don't really buy that way. I did buy a good chunk of a Favre collection from someone that had put something on Facebook Marketplace. I actually bought from a local auction house. I bought a bunch of 77 Star Wars cards. You know who Mastered Auctions is?
Yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah,
they're local. Local auctioneer, and they had a Bree kind of watches that. My wife kind of watches that stuff for household things and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, I found these stuff," and it was a really good deal. So, and it had Luke #1, the best card in the entire set. That's like a $20 or $30 card, and if it's in decent shape. But no, I don't really do that. I love eBay. I love the ease of it. I can just make the payment and it gets shipped to me, and I don't really want to. Facebook Marketplace, is the item still available? Well, I got 2 guys in front of you, but you could pick it up Thursday. And I got kids during the day, so you're gonna have to meet me here. And I don't know. I don't know how much of that I really want to have to deal with. If it was something that was an amazing deal. Most of the experience that I've had, at least recently, I think you could get better stuff on there, a couple of years ago. But most of the stuff I see on there now is like a bunch of 1991 Fleer baseball commons, right? And then 5,000 cards, 50 bucks. Like, you're not paying $50 for. I wouldn't pay $50 for those. So, um, I think if I was totally out of dime box fodder or something, maybe I'd pick up, some random box like that. But even at that, you could probably still find better stuff at a better deal on eBay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're gonna buy like a 100,000 card collection, that's a little different because you're not gonna want to freight that or anything. Then that might be something you want to drive to. Do you watch Chasing Cardboard? Have you ever seen that channel?
I have seen it, yeah.
So that's kind of what he does. He's got a little bit bigger, like bulk operation, if you will, and he just sort of drives around to people who are looking to sell their collections. And he's buying, a trailer load of stuff at a time. So that's a little bit different. Then I think you're going to look at more ads in newspapers and Craigslist and stuff like that. But that's not really what I'm aiming for. Nothing wrong with doing that. I just haven't had great experience with it, and so I don't put a lot into it. I'm pretty good at buying on eBay and finding lots and things like that and putting together deals that I haven't felt like I've had to go too far outside of that to get stuff I need. And card shows. Card shows are awesome for inventory.
Can't beat card shows.
Can't beat card shows.
But not everybody's got them, we find out.
Not everybody has them. And remember, there's only certain things you're probably going to be able to find at a card show. So it's your fringe. If you want to get into some of the more fringe, non-mainstream sport items, then you have to start looking at some other avenues.
Right.
Let's see. MD says must have all the backstock done since we are buying online again. No, there's always backstock. That's the other thing with non-sport. There's no Card Dealer Pro for that. So you have to know going into it if you're going to do any of that. You're listing all those on your own. Some of them you can scan. Many of them you can scan. So if you want, you can get quicker images, but you're still going to have to list them one by one.
Yeah. But the nice thing on a lot of non-sport is once you list the first one, it's quick to do all the successive ones because it's usually just a number.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really doesn't take me that much longer to list those than running it through the scanner and then dumping them one by one. Either way, you're going to have to capture the information. So, but yeah, Card Dealer Pro makes it nice for some things, but it doesn't work for transport yet. Anyway. All right, Johnny M says, damn, I got a couple hundred of the Ren and Stimpy stickers and laser circle cards here somewhere. I should probably try to locate them. Yeah, you can send them to me. I'll give you my address. I'll make use of them. That being said, every time Adam says it, it's my new drinking game. Pretty drunk right now. Maybe I should have said that in the Discord. Yeah, put it in there. Put it in there. I like to show both sides of things, and that being said, kind of is the segue that makes sense to put it onto the other side. That's my excuse anyway. Nando is here. Welcome, Nando. I think this is your first time on the show. Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Joe is here, of course. What's up, boys?
Ooh.
Not gentlemen, just boys.
That's right.
Perfect.
It's
perfect. Joe says, nice lot, Coots. You seem to always get the best deals. It's searching. Like, I didn't just go type in, like, send me sticker cards and then hit buy on a bunch of stuff. I do a lot of digging. I'll give you one other little secret or thing that I've learned helps in the search and speed it along a little bit. But I kind of search things randomly when I'm starting. It'll just be like non-sport sticker lot or something like that, right? So I'm just aimlessly looking. And then let's say I come across something where I'm like, ooh, that's really cool and it's interesting and price is okay, but whatever. So let's say it's that Indiana Jones sticker lot, right? And I'm like, well, that's cool, but that's not the lot that I want. Now I go back and I search Indiana Jones sticker lot.
Okay.
So then that'll start bringing up more specifics to those things, and then I can go pick out one that I think will be the best buy. So that's something I do too. I will shrink down my search a little bit once I have something to focus on. MD says politicians are crooks. I mean, you're not wrong.
How do you really feel, MD?
He is not shy at expressing his feelings, which is great. We welcome that here. Normal Austin has joined us. I think this is your first time on the show as well. Thank you. Welcome. Brock Purdy still sells like hotcakes. How about that, Charlie? Base Brock Purdy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, people got to move him as fast as they can before they stop making him because he's no longer playing.
Remember when I was buying those at 50 cents and I was a crazy man? Mm-hmm. By the way, I sold all of those but 2, so I have a little bit. I have my big auto rookie of him yet, but
yeah,
I'm going to hang on to that. Just kind of an intermission here. We do have 30 viewers on here currently. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll help get it out to more viewers. Consider sharing it if you think somebody would enjoy the show. Ring the bell to be notified of future videos so you'll never miss another live again, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time every Wednesday. And of course, subscribe to the channel. You want to know something, and since I brought that up, you want to know something really weird, Charlie, that I noticed that's happened probably over the last few months? When I go for a period of time and don't post a video, that's when I tend to get my most subscribers.
Okay.
So I haven't posted a video in like 4 or 5 days, and I had like a whole bunch of subscribers over the last 2 days. So I don't know if like YouTube wants to sort of gear it back up, so it takes like your best performing videos and starts putting it in front of more people. Like, well, if I get more subscribers, we can get more content. Sort of get everybody on board. I don't know.
But you don't want to oversaturate either. So sometimes it's good to take a little pause.
And when you first start your channel, you're not going to really notice that because you're just getting like 1 sub here or there or whatever. But, now I'm at the point where I can get like 100 to 150 a month or whatever. So when you go for like 4 days and you get 20 subscribers and then I put a video out and I lose a subscriber, it's like, well, how is this happening? Like, what are they watching? I didn't even put anything up. I think we assume that everybody only watches new videos, and that's not necessarily the case.
True. Yeah.
But anyway, just sort of something I've noticed that I thought was kind of strange. All right, Andrew is with us. Welcome, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. Great. How, as always, guys, when it comes to non-sports, do you believe monsters, superheroes, 70s, 80s has more value than 70s, 80s iconic TV show cards? Mork and Mindy, Dukes of Hazzard. Whoa, that's a lot of question because there's variables to that one. Monsters are great. The other thing, and superheroes are great. And I think you kind of answered your question right there. Monsters and superheroes don't really have an era, okay?
Right.
So monsters are good forever. Superheroes are going to be good forever. I mean, granted, they had to start at some point, so I get it. You have 50s, 60s, 70s. But you have Marvel cards that came out in the 50s, and you have Marvel cards that came out last week, right? Universal Monsters, they've been making action figures of those characters, since the 30s, and still make them to this day. So I think that's the thing where it's timeless, right? I mean, is maybe the best way to put it. So that's different than the 70s, 80s iconic TV show. So Mork and Mindy was a great show, but Mork and Mindy is gone. Like, it's not going to be in front of anybody anytime soon. And I think most of its staying power really had to do with their star became an even bigger star after that show, right? I mean, if that had been, just a normal actor who that was kind of their peak performance was playing Mork. I don't know that it would have carried on so far. No, and that was a hit show. It was out during a time when cards were huge, so they were making cards of everything, and they printed a lot of it. Okay. Now, I'm not against Mork and Mindy. I'm not saying there isn't value. I've sold Mork and Mindy cards before. They're cool, but they're readily available, and there isn't like a giant. People aren't banging down the door to get Mork and Mindy. Okay. Now it's kind of ironic. The other one you mentioned there is Dukes of Hazzard. Now that was a huge iconic show in its day. Still relevant today, though. I would argue more so than Mork and Mindy, right? Because you got the car, and they've made movies of it, and not that long ago. They made a modern film. You've got some iconic characters and things like that. Now that was 1982, I think, is when those cards came out. Ironically enough, I have a card right here. Let me take a look at it real quick. But they didn't make very much of it. The packs are almost impossible to find, a sealed pack. And I know this because I'm a sealed pack non-sport guy, and I don't know that I want to pay $50 for a Dukes of Hazzard pack. So here's a Dukes of Hazzard card, right?
There you go.
So these came out in 1980, but you hardly ever find them. The stickers are almost impossible to get. I would buy those anytime I see them. I would pay a premium to get them over what I would normally pay for a 1980s TV show sticker card. But your example of using Dukes of Hazzard, the game changes a bit because of the fact that they're rare. I find the same thing with Masters of the Universe, right? I can get the sticker cards. There are enough out there, but the packs are like $30 a pack. So anybody who wants any of those cards or any of those stickers, they're going to have to buy them loose.
Yeah.
Think of it like 2017 Optic football, right? So Mahomes' rookie is in that year. So you're going to have to pay like $65 for a pack of Optic. Are you going to do that and rip it? Probably not. So whatever's out there is out there. And that's something that I consider a lot, especially with non-sport. That they're not going to be making these ever again. That's true. But I believe whatever is out there in packs is not going to be opened, and that's part of the key to that. Because there's more money in the sealed pack. Goonies is like that. Goonies is like $25 or $30 a pack now. And we all know about Goonies stickers. That's been a play of mine for a long time because I saw, the packs skyrocketing, so I knew that singles would have to go up. So now, to give a more blanket answer to this, I believe everything is worth buying if you get it for the right price. So, because there's a market for every one of those things that you've mentioned, maybe a little bit slower than others, but if you can get them for the right price and price them correctly, you'll get sales on all of those. So, thoughts, Charlie?
Pretty much along the same lines you were saying. I mean, I think of it as what's your buyer market on those. With monsters and superheroes, I mean, it applies to any generation alive today, right? So at any given time, you have 3-4 generations typically alive, and those are desirable across all those generations because they all grew up with them. They look a little different, like the artistry different, the illustrations different in the 90s than they did in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same characters. Those 70s, 80s shows, you have maybe 2 generations that are going to even know what they are and know why they were relevant. So your buyer base narrows down quite a bit on that.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Charlie. Like, let's say you have a 10-year-old right now who's just getting into cards in the market and pop culture and stuff. There might be a good chance that they'd be into superheroes or monsters, but probably not Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
Or Mork and Mindy. Like, it doesn't really fit for them. I'm not saying they can't be. Of course, anybody can be a fan of whatever they want. Maybe their dad likes the show and they watch it with them, whatever the case may be. But I feel like, the ones you mentioned earlier, those superheroes and monsters, you got you're going to have a much broader audience for a longer period of time. Probably timeless with monsters and superheroes.
More likely, those kids are going to look at those Dukes of Hazards and Mork and Mindy cards and be like, "Well, that's inappropriate."
Right? Yeah. Daisy Dukes, the Daisy
Yeah.
Dukes.
Yeah.
I guess the moral of the story here is be yourself, unless you can be Batman, and then you should always be Batman.
Always be Batman.
Right. So every kid wants to be Batman.
Did I ever tell you my Batman story? I feel like maybe I told you my Batman story.
I don't know that you have.
So I was like a junior in high school or something. And I had been dating this young lady in high school for a while, and her family invited me up on a Canadian fishing trip with them for a week. So here we are. There's mom and dad, there's 3 daughters and me, all in this like camper truck. Like the ones that go in the back of your pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently in the middle of the night, and this would have been like 1990. So right, not too long after the first Batman movie came out, right?
Yeah.
That was what, 89?
89, yep.
Yeah. So apparently in the middle of the night, in front of my entire girlfriend's family, I sat up and declared, "I'm Batman."
That's awesome. Did they believe you? Were they like, check for capes or what?
They invited me back, so I think I made them feel more safe.
Oh. Yeah. Well, maybe you scared off the wild animals outside the camper,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. I'm Batman. That's pretty funny. And they told you that in the morning, and you're like, yeah. They're like, you sat up and said you're Batman. You're like, yeah. I mean, I'm Batman, so yeah. I mean, I can't hide from facts. Yeah.
Yeah. To this day, I still hear about that.
That's pretty awesome. We might bring that up one more time on the channel. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I tend to memory bank stuff like that pretty good. So, hey Charlie, can I hear a little Tusken Raider? LOL.
Oh, Tusken Raider.
You got a Tusken call out.
Yeah, I talked about that in my video the other night because I had a Tusken Raider sticker card, original 77 sticker card.
Did you do a pretty solid impression or what?
I had to do kind of a quiet one because it was like after midnight and everybody's sleeping. And I talked about how my wife absolutely hates it when I do it. It's hard.
Well, that makes it more fun,
right? It's hard to do quiet. Like you can't do it halfway, right? Like you gotta go all or nothing and really make it good. But
especially if you're going to be a Tusken. I mean, that's intense.
I know it is intense, right?
I can't do one, so I'm out.
Yeah. Did you ever try?
Now people are going to chop that segment out and they're going to share that with their friends. And they're going to use it. They're going to use it to blackmail us, and now we're screwed. And we can't edit it out because it's live.
When we run for office, it's going to end up airing in a commercial someplace.
Well, I'll be running, that's for sure. No office for this guy. I don't even work in an office. That's how little I like office.
That is true.
All right. It is true. Well, home office. I don't know if that counts.
That doesn't count.
I don't think so either. All right. Davis is here. Welcome, Davis. Thanks for joining us. I like to do dollar boxes or bargain boxes because you can find good deals and players. Mm-hmm. It's like going to the gym. You're doing reps looking, this is good. Slabs higher cards. Most people try 70 to 80%. Yeah. I think that's kind of the same experience we've had. So I don't want to just talk about shows on here though, because there's so many people that don't have shows by them that they can buy at. So I like to try to give some eBay tips and, discuss buying on Facebook Marketplace and things like that. But I do agree. I think it is the best way to buy. And I like buying lots. Again, it kind of forces me to try cards maybe I wouldn't buy out of a box because I wouldn't grab them. So I like that part of it. But on the flip side of that, um, boxes are the best because you can literally just buy the things you know you can resell. So that's not something to take lightly. There's an advantage to buying something you can flip within a few days, or you have customers that are looking for that stuff. I'm at the point now where I think I have some customers that watch the store so closely that as soon as I post anything they want, they just come in and buy it all. Um, Especially if you have some stuff that's a little more unusual. If there's somebody looking for those King Kong stickers, I'm probably going to be the only one who's going to have them out there for you to buy.
Yeah.
So those are some of the item that you really want. Now, the other thing is there are certain things you're not going to find in those dollar boxes. Finding those King Kong stickers at a show is not very where our shows are. What we see at our shows, that's not going. Those aren't very common. That's not something we're really going to see. So now, Charlie, there is a. I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's somewhere in Michigan, but there is a non-sport show that happens, I think, quarterly up there. I got to look into that a little bit, but I think that would be amazing to go to a non-sport show. The other thing you can do, and I'm only talking about non-sport because it was kind of a topic for tonight's show, Comic-Con conventions and things like that. Those are great places to get non-sport stuff. You can get boxes and singles and sets and stuff like that. You're going to more likely see those at those types of shows than a baseball card show.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we agree. We love card shows. Bearded Clam Picker is here. He says, hello from
Pismo
Beach.
I used to love going to Pismo. I haven't been there in years now. That was my easy getaway for the weekend when I lived in Baco.
Nice. That's California, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds better than Green Bay, so that wasn't hard. But yeah, thanks for joining us and enjoy the beach. Although we had a pretty solid day today here, temperature wise anyway. So how do I share this?
I don't know what you're trying to do there, Adam.
So we got a donation from Andrew. He says, always appreciate your insight, guys. I wonder if I have to skip down to do that.
You shared them before.
Here it is. There we go. It throws it to the bottom, which is weird. You'd think it'd throw it up to the top, but thank you, Andrew. We really appreciate that. Donations definitely help, continue growing the content. I really want to get to a point, like I said, where financially it's feasible to get an upgraded program for StreamYard. There are some cool features that they offer, so that's the goal. Also, we only get so many free hours of recording time on there, and Charlie and I have talked about this before. We really pushed the boundaries of that. So I think one month I was like a little under an hour left was all we had.
Yeah.
So if we can get into a subscription with them, then they don't really limit. Well, maybe there's a limit, but it's a lot more. Like we can get a lot more live time. And
we can send the duck someplace else.
Yeah. I would take the duck down. Yeah, and we can put our own logos up there. Maybe we'll have a fancy Stewart logo at that time to throw up there. Who knows? Okay, what am I doing now? Okay, I gotta hide this one. There we go. I'm trying to do this on my phone. It's not so easy. All right, Bearded Clam says it's hard to imagine anyone under 45 knowing who Mark and Mindy are. I agree, and yeah, and that's exactly why that was the very first thing I brought up was there's just not staying power. So now us people our age are still probably the biggest buyers of sports cards and movie cards. So there's definitely still a market for them, but yeah, you're not going to get a lot of new young eyes on stuff like that. MD says he's 34. Plenty of people my age know that show. There you go. I think, and I kind of mentioned this at that time too. I think Mork and Mindy tends to be a bit of an exception, just because, like I said, the main actor, went on to do many greater things besides that. So if you're looking at, if you're a fan of his and you're looking at some of his catalog and you want to watch other things he's done, that might cause you to trip onto Mork and Mindy, whereas maybe you wouldn't have seen that otherwise. But I don't know.
Did you jump way ahead? I lost you in the chat there. You must have jumped ahead.
I don't know, Charlie. Probably. I'm sure there's a market for them. How do I list adult trading cards? Ooh, we get weird, we get wild here for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I see on Facebook. Here we are. Pismo after Pismo. Scott has joined us. Thanks for being here, Scott. Appreciate you. Hello. What I see on Facebook Marketplace is get 500 cards for $100. And they probably send late 80s crap. That's exactly what I see in my area. So I don't bother. No, most of my friends, my family, things like that, they know what I do and what I'm, to some degree, what I'm looking for. And I'll get links once in a while. It'll say, hey, look at this lot. This is something you want. But yeah, it's not like a bunch of rare stuff or numbered stuff, or it's going to be a bunch of junk wax commons generally is what you're going to.
Occasionally, if you can see enough good names in it, it might make sense, but most of the time it's stuff that you're not going to be able to move.
And it potentially could be good big labor too, right? So if you buy a 5,000 count box, it takes a while to go through that. You got to find a place to put it. Even if I dime box it, now I got another dime box laying around. That's not really what I want to buy. So, and I don't want to do the whole thing where I'm like selling boxes and I'm trying to, that's not what I like to play. I'd rather just get cards I know I can sell for the most part. If I found a 1,000 card lot online and like it was $25 and 500 of the cards I could do something good with, and make a 10x return on it or something, I'd do that and take the other 500 and put them in a dime box or whatever. I'm not saying I don't want heads and tails on what I buy. Yes, I like distilleries, so that's a comment for distillery people. Heads and tails are generally the parts of the alcohol that you chop off because it's no good, right? And then it's either waste or you put it into another product. But so that's kind of how I see those card boxes, right? So you got 1,000 cards. If you're getting it for a good price, there's no way all 1,000 cards are bangers.
Right.
So you sort of chop off the two ends of the stuff that aren't very good, and then the good stuff should pay the bills. So that, but I've kind of had the same experience. I haven't seen like big winners out there to buy, and I think it's still competitive. So many people just want to buy local and we have flippers here. We have card show dealers that, just regularly buy collections and things like that. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel like I just want them to do that work. And then I'll go in and buy the stuff out of their 10-cent boxes that doesn't seem to be worth their time, but is like $3 and $4 cards for me. Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do, right, Charlie? I mean, we're buying a lot of times from these dealers that are they're buying big collections and they just sell the $300-$400 cards and then just try to unload the rest to us. But at least I can still cherry pick them and virtually get the same price, because I would have to buy, a big lot locally and then dig through it all for the good stuff. SotoCAD collectibles. I don't have my glasses on, forgive me. I watch a breaker on Facebook, and every time he says a card is clean, I take a shot of whiskey. Nice. Whatever gets you playing the game.
Right.
So now that I know Bargain Boxer is gonna take his drinks every time I say, on the flip side, probably going to come out a lot more. I want him to type a message where it's not even English. It's just a bunch of letters.
Random symbols.
That's the goal. Then we know we won. Beef jerky meat flops has joined us. Welcome. We do get some of everything on here, which is great. What's your buy list ratio if you were to be completely honest? Like quantity? Is that what we're looking for? Like how many do you buy versus how many you list?
I think there's two
dollars
because we list 100% of what we buy at a show. We don't buy it unless we think we can move it.
Right.
But I think the ratio is different if we're talking about rip and wax. Like, if I get a box of 2024 Topps, I'm probably listing 30 to 40%, and the rest of it's going in a dime box,
And even that, I think, kind of goes to brand, though. Like, I bought those 2 Prism baseball packs. I'll just list all of them. There's only, you get, 10 cards in a pack, 15 cards in a pack.
Yeah.
Prism is sought after. It's, high-quality chrome card. I can get $1.99 for a common.
Yeah.
And it's only a few cards, right? I mean, the rest of them are better than common. So, maybe I've got 5 cards or 6 cards out of a pack that aren't inserts or silvers or big names, whatever. So I'm only listing 5 more cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's nice when you open a pack to try to get your money back out of those cards, and then your profit is in the good cards in the pack, if you will. And those are generally cards of current players, right? Because they're this year's products. So you might have more buyers that way versus like a 1990 card, of a guy that doesn't played one season, no one cares about.
Like Derek Jeter.
Right, one season, right. He played all the seasons. He's still playing right now in a parallel universe. Everyone else is trying to catch up. Yeah, I think if we're looking at quantity wise, I agree with Charlie. I generally don't buy anything unless I'm going to list it. And my dime box is mainly made up of just discarded stuff from buying packs or like I said, the heads and tails maybe out of a lot, or a small collection or something somebody gave me. A lot of my dime cards in the box are free cards.
Yeah.
The cards I got for nothing. They were tossed in with other stuff I bought or whatever. So it's like, okay, well, it's just a pure profit. I don't need to get more than 10 cents out of it. I didn't pay any. I have no capital in it. So well, let me put it to you this way: if I think I can sell it online, I'm going to list it.
Yeah.
And that's like most cards you can get a buyer for. People buy weird stuff. All right, Bradley is here. Hi, Brad. Hi, guys. Glad to see you at the last show at the distillery. Good show, but not a good venue with bad lighting. Yeah, it was. Charlie and I got extremely fortunate because we had no idea where we were going to be. And we got one of the first tables right inside the door next to some windows with lots of natural light. But yeah, it was pretty rough in there at times. I saw a lot of people with cell phone lights out trying to look at cases and cards on tables. And there were a few spots that we were able to dig. If you watch my show on that at all, my video on the card show, you kind of see how there were dark spots and stuff. But yeah, it's that was a tough place that way. I would think next time we would come up with some sort of a lighting setup if it's ever hosted there again.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Other than that, it's an awesome venue.
I liked the venue a lot. I liked that it kind of had 2 places, right? Like it was split between the 2 different like dining areas.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. It was neat to actually have some food right there because we're used to setting up at the KI and there's nothing there. There were drinks at the bar. You could place your order and they give you a little buzzer, so you didn't necessarily have to leave your table. Yeah, the food is really good. I've never eaten there before. I thought it was really good. Service seemed pretty good, but yeah, lighting was definitely the challenge.
Now, do we want to share kind of some of the early talk about our next venture?
No.
All right. We'll save
Not
that.
yet.
Keep that in our pocket.
Yeah, more to come, but there's some things that have to be worked out yet. So stay tuned. We'll keep them eagerly waiting. That's part of the fun, the tease, right?
Yep.
But yes, Charlie and I have another project in the works. 379. Oh, right. Hold on. Sorry. Um, you gotta always do like four things at once. I'm behind from being occupied with other things today. But yeah, so we have another project that we're going to be working on. We'll be excited to hopefully come out with something soon. But yeah, I don't think we're quite ready for that yet. But it should be a good time. So this is kind of an interesting, and it's kind of funny that your name is Bearded Clam with this question, but we'll let that as it be. On the flip side, Drink Boxer, we can see you. Um, how do I list adult trading cards without getting in trouble? Post-its over privates. I don't buy those types of cards because I don't know. I don't want to deal with it, and I certainly don't want to bring it to like a local show or anything like that. But I've seen lots of posts on eBay. I'm assuming you're referring to selling them on eBay. And yeah, that's pretty much what they do is they'll just put, nude or explicit or something in the title to sort of say that's what it is. And then, yeah, just, I don't think you need to use post-its. What I would do is I would take photos of the cards and then I would just put like little icons over things you're not allowed to show
Yeah, use
the
your photo
general
editor.
public. Yeah, use your photo editor. Usually they'll just put like a little bright spot.
Put tassels on them.
Put tassels, little stars, something like that. I mean, I think people who are shopping for those, I think they'll know what you got. Um, and that's generally not where the condition of the card would be the problem. Usually that's your edges and your corners. So you can still show all that and then just, photo edit the parts that aren't appropriate for a general audience. But you can certainly do that. There might be, and I don't know this because I've never done any of it, but there might be a listing section on eBay where you can list like adults only items and maybe they have to verify 18 and over for the buyer first. Yeah, I don't know. But I can't imagine that, it's a big industry. I can't imagine others haven't sold, magazines or videos or downloads or whatever. I'm sure that stuff is selling on eBay all day long. So there might even be like for example, let's say you wanted to sell your house. You don't just list it on eBay. Like there's a real estate listing section of eBay where you list the real estate on there. I think there's an automotive section. So there's like certain things that are different than your normal tchotchke household collectible knickknacky type stuff, like cards. Um, that has its own appropriate place on eBay to sell. But you'd have to look into that. I really don't. I really don't know. I'm just speaking off the cuff. I'm sure there's a market for them. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Should be rules about voting for The Walking Dead, though. Yeah, no, true. Kind of struck out at the last card show. All the dealers so overpriced. We've experienced that before. It's not real often, but there's sometimes it's hard to sort of squeeze a dime out of a nickel at certain shows. Um, at one table, a young couple had great cards, and he literally took like 20 minutes to price a stack of 50 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to some advice that we've gone over before, and several others obviously have made videos about this too. But if you're gonna sell at a show, be prepared. Like have your stuff priced, know what things cost. Um, I am not going to be a buyer if I come up to your table and you're like, "Well, we can look them all up," and nope,
Yeah.
I'm done. I and not that I'm being rude or I'm offended by your the way you price anything like that. It's a time thing. So I'm not going to stand at that table all day. I need to try to get my work done in the hours that show conforms to. And the later you get to a box, the less opportunity you have, right? Because somebody else probably got something out of it. So yeah, I'm generally going to go up to a table that says, you know, quarter box, dollar box, and boom, I can just start my digging and put my piles together. I know all the prices in my head, so I can come up with, you know, what I want my bulk to be, what things should cost. Um, yeah, it's unfortunate that you had that experience at a show, but that is going to happen once in a while. Hopefully, it wasn't something you drove a long ways to get to or anything like that, so you had a lot of resources into it. But um, chalk it up to, hey, I got to go to a card show today. You know, it was kind of fun. It didn't really cost me anything to be there. I didn't find any inventory, but, you know, hey, I was able to look at some cool cards and talk to some people.
Yeah.
Um, Charlie and I talk about that all the time about setting up at a show. I really don't care if I make any money setting up at a show because I'm just selling dime leftover stuff. If I can pay for the table and make a few extra bucks to buy some stuff there, great. That's the reason that I do it. That and to make some community connections, right? We can put our faces together. Um, Charlie knows I have regular buyers at the show who come to my 10-cent boxes and buy a stack of cards every show.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason they do it is just to kind of come and hang out. Like, hey, how's it going? You know, how's sales? And hey, I was just in Madison doing this thing and that thing. Not everybody is going to be part of your online community. Some are, you know, face people. So I just think it's a branch, it's an arm that, you know, we want to make sure we're still a part of, even though it's not my business isn't dependent upon success at it. So yeah, if you're a buyer there and you can't find anything to buy, it's pretty tough to go back to that show. One thing you could do, if I don't know if you know the show promoter at all, but you could share your experience on the show. You know, show promoters want customers to be there because dealers won't set up if they don't sell anything.
Yeah.
And if they're overpricing everything, they're probably not. You know, I'm sure you weren't the only one who didn't buy due to pricing. You know, share that with the promoter, and the promoter can maybe talk to the dealers and say, hey, you know, you're kind of out of bounds here. You know, you're not getting the buyers because of your pricing, or you don't have your stuff ready ahead of time. You know, they might be able to sort of help the dealers, not yell at them, not scold them, but just kind of help them because I'm guessing they don't want to set up at a show and then not sell anything. Like, what's the point of that? So I think that would probably be your other course of action.
Yeah, I think that would be good. They want feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. I always try to talk to Matt afterwards. Matt does our Green Bay shows here, and just kind of let him know, hey, yeah, we had a good turnout today, or, you know, talk to some people doing this, you know, whatever. I think it's good to let the promoter know how it's going.
Yeah.
And he wanted like $6 a card. That's hard to say because I don't know what cards you're talking about. I mean, you know, that might have been a good deal on a card. I don't know.
But in general, if they're going to sit there and look each comp up on their phone, they're probably going to look for retail prices.
Yeah, and you know, if you're going to do that for $100 cards, that's somewhat acceptable, mostly acceptable. I still think you should know where things are at, but if you're doing that for 50-cent cards and $1 cards, that's not going to fly. There were some good autos in there. Yeah. MD says that bearded, I believe that's the workaround. I know there's certain categories that were delisted a year or two ago. Yeah, and that might be one of them because I've been seeing more nude cards on just like my regular searches, which I'm not searching for those cards specifically, so they might not have their own place to go anymore, and you just have to block them out and put them on regular listings. I don't know how they would know if it had an appropriate. I suppose somebody would have to report the listing.
Yeah,
So I don't know that it would catch nudity or not. I don't know.
Maybe they have an AI that scans all listings.
No, well, nudity is a touchy one, right? Because there's art to that, and I don't know. But yeah, I think it would be the same thing with like a swear word, right? Like I have if you have a card that, custom card that says, "Oh, don't know SH, on the back of it. Pretty sure you can't put that on the screen. Like you'd have to
Yeah.
block. But I think just kind of use your, common sense of this has to be okay for a general audience, and you just have to cover up the bits and list it that way. I bought some of the older wacky package stickers at a show a while back, and they sell regularly. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was actually looking at some lots. I have trouble pulling the trigger on a wacky packages lot. I don't know why. But yeah, and you're right. You can find some decent prices on lots too. And I've sold quite a few of them. I just sold a goldfish parody sticker. Goldfish, the little crackers, right? And it says gold. They're called Gold Flush, and it's got the toilet going, or the fish going down a little toilet, swimming down a toilet, and so I mean they're fun and kind of creative and stuff, kind of garbage pail kiddish. And there's definitely a market for it. My one piece of advice on that one is I would try to stick to the older ones, like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay a little bit more for them, but I think that's where the better part of the market is versus the newer stuff. Let's see. Bearded Clam Picker says, hey, hard to imagine anyone under 45 knowing who Mark and Mindy is. Yeah, we went through that. Yep, you have to block out parts. Yep, we said that. That's what I figured. Thanks, Johnny. Just needed some reassurance. I feel like they didn't make trading cards for TV shows from early 80s on. I've seen a lot of 70s TV shows and some early 80s. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of shows that didn't get cards. I mean, it's kind of like, think about a TV show today getting trading cards. It sounds insane. Like you would never do that. 90s was probably the biggest explosion of that. Yeah. I mean, you had like Family Matters cards, you had Full House cards, like dinosaurs. I mean, so I think you're right. I think there was probably a decent representation in the 70s. You had like Three's Company and Charlie's Angels, and Dukes of Hazzard was 80s, but like late 70s, 80s, right? Because that show started in like 79, I think. Right. So yeah, 70s was mid to late 70s was probably like the peak for show cards. Then that sort of faded a little bit. There were cartoon cards in the 80s, so like your Masters of the Universe and Ghostbusters, and I don't know. There's other things. And then the 90s, it was like Pee-wee's Playhouse, and like they did a card for everything.
Yeah.
Bobby's World. Fox Kids, G.I. Joe, like it was all over. So, but even now when I talk about some of those, I love it. I'm like, I want some of these cards. Like, dude, if they made like Thundercats cards, oh, those would be awesome. The He-Man cards are great. Like, I don't know, the non-sport stuff just gets my blood moving. I remember movie cards in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, movie stuff. Batman, that lonely rich bachelor. Charlie Neesu's impression. We made our poor attempts at that. We're not getting that. So they sound like seals. What is that even from? That's from Star Wars, man. Tusken Raiders in Star Wars. I gave you a bonus one. Dollar box Tusken Raider chant will be the new TikTok trend. Trust me, we're not the only ones to have ever done it. It's all over the place. Look up Tusken Raider roar or Tusken Raider call or something like that, and you'll see all kinds of stuff. Chicago has a non-sports show, doesn't it? I don't know. But that's one of my goals for this next year is to find a good non-sport show. Philly has an amazing non-sport show. They do a big one every year, and they have like promo cards at it and stuff. Like, woo, that's the stuff that you want to get to. But I don't know if I'll be going to Philly anytime soon. But maybe that would be a trip for when the National's not going to be in a convenient drive place for us. Maybe we go, let's do the non-sport show instead this year. I don't know. We'll see. I think video from a non-sport show would be badass. That would be fun as
Yeah,
hell.
for sure.
I figured by your accents, you guys were in one of the Great Lakes states. Cool. We have an accent?
Accents, eh?
Wow, it's like we're fancy.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
know we had those accents there.
yeah, me
Years
neither.
ago, I wasn't living here. Nobody
Neither.
said I had an accent then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess over the years you pick up one, two, three, one, two, or three of them. California sounds better than Green Bay. Yuck! Everybody is leaving there. I just meant weather-wise. We are getaway for Baco and all the other Valley folks. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Baco, Baco, Boco. Oh.
Just had to go over the ridge, and I honestly, Bakersfield is like the armpit of California. It was not the best place like to be in, but every weekend I could be up in the mountains in a couple hours, and I could be on the shores of the ocean in a couple hours. So.
Yeah, I liked it there, except for traffic, cost. Those were kind of the two big ones for me. Traffic in California is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Luckily, when I was there, I was working for other things, and I was able to Uber or have rides or whatever. But yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
MD says 15 to 20% of my spend is Facebook, Craigslist. Weird that sports card world is that different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends on what you're buying, like we said, and it depends on where you live. We don't have a lot of that. We're in the Midwest. Sports cards is a huge hobby here. It's common here for that people to participate in this hobby. So the stuff gets snatched up right away if it's better stuff, or it's people just kind of getting rid of their, like I said, heads and tails. The stuff nobody wants. I don't know. I guess I look at it this way, right? Like, let's say you have a 100 cards. Like, you're just a normal person who got these cards over the years. You have 100 cards, and one of them is a Pete Rose rookie, right? Are you going to throw that in the lot with the 100 cards and sell it for $20? Probably not. You're going to sell the Pete Rose rookie card online or to a buyer or whatever, and then you're going to sell the other 100 cards that aren't really worth anything for the $25.
Right.
So, I mean, in most cases, unless somebody really doesn't know what they have, but I ran into that a lot when I first got back in. I was buying lots of Favre, and I would get like autographed Favre cards in it. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? I paid $15 for this lot, and I got a $100, Favre auto in it. Like, I don't know. But that hasn't happened in a long time now. I only buy Facebook lots in person. The last buys had tons of good rookies, stars, autos numbered, all from the last 4 years. I never buy stuff they mail to you.
Agreed.
There you go. I think most of our local sellers would just set up at a show. So I don't think they would post on Facebook and then have you come and look, and they'd have all these different rookie, like good cards to sell. I think they would just set up at a show and then sell them there. Just sold an 85 Pilcan Boyd card. I never thought that card would sell, but again, he was a character.
Oil Can Boyd, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what he meant. He said Pilcan, but yeah, I figured that out after he threw it. Sorry, Oil Can Boyd, yeah. $1 box after dark.
I think that was a gentleman's club.
That it is. And we're no gentlemen, so.
We're no gentlemen, yeah.
Average Dave says went to a show and he had his cards also listed on eBay and they weren't priced. Had to wait on him to look at the price in the store and then take the listing down.
Oh my gosh.
Annoying. After 5 minutes of waiting, I was no longer interested. Yeah, attention spans are short at a show. There's so much to get to, at least for how I do it. So I'm not going to spend all my time waiting for somebody to look something up. As a matter of fact, Charlie, do you remember that stack of Garbage Pail Kids that I bought at the Appleton show?
Mm-hmm.
And you know who the seller was on that? Who the dealer was?
No, I don't remember.
So it was Scooter. Remember from Scooter Sports? So the guy who puts on the show.
Yeah.
and he doesn't ever really have his stuff priced. And so I picked out the stack of the stuff I want. And I said, well, what do you want for these? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'd have to look at them or something. And
Yeah.
I said, here, you take them. These are the ones I'm interested in. I'm going to go around and get some things done I need to get done. I'll come back. You give me a price. I'll let you know if I'm going to take them. So there are some ways to kind of work with that. They were good enough to get, if I can get them at the right price, they were good enough for me to buy that it was worth my time to just kind of swing back and find out if I wanted to buy them. And like I said, I don't see a lot of non-sport or garbage pail kid inserts or parallels. Some of them are the scratch and sniff, which are awesome. You don't see those very often. Anyway, so that worked out great. And he runs the show, so he's like first guy in the door. So it was like the first spot I stopped at. I handed him my stack, and then I went, half a loop around, and I came back and I said, "Hey, you got a price on those Garbage Pail Kids cards?" He's like, "Hey, I do $8. Great, I'll take them. Here's $8." So it didn't really take any of my time to get that purchase done. So just try to find your way to work with what you can. Once you get to a show, you might as well try to figure out a way to buy some stuff. Do you two sell only cards? I have been selling for quite a while and do sell some memorabilia certified by PSA, JSA, such as autographed mini helmets, autographed jerseys, etc. I sell PSA cards, graded cards, but no, I don't really sell anything outside that. I'll take random items at my house and sell them, like Funko Pops and stuff like that I got laying around. And then I do have a business outside this where I sell other items, other items that I've created. So not like licensed card type stuff or sports type stuff. But yeah, I pretty much just cards.
Yeah, pretty much just cards for me too. I mean, I'm open to other things, and every once in a while I grab some random stuff. I've been selling these Curious George glasses and stuff, things like that.
Oh, that's right.
It's not even all sports sometimes that I grab, but heavily cards, like probably 98% cards.
I guess I look at it like, if you spent the time building up a reputation and you can list things pretty quickly and you have good feedback and all this, why not sell whatever you can? So if it's something I can make a buck on, sure, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
And it's really not that hard because you don't have that much to, you list it, it sells, you ship it. It doesn't really matter what the item is, maybe how you pack it and stuff, but like,
right.
I list this and I sell it and I have to mail it out. Now, if I sell this, I list it and I got to wrap it and I got to send it out. Then I have no way to turn my TV on, but I could sell my remote.
Yeah.
So anyway, nudity is a touchy one. More dollar bucks after dark. Anyway, let's see. I seem to experience a lot of younger dealers at a card show that have a good portion of the available inventory on eBay, and they tell you most are on eBay. It's their cards. Turn off as a buyer. Tell you most are on. Oh yeah. I don't have a problem with that if they have stuff listed on eBay, but yeah, don't stand there and look it all up or
Right.
Oh, I can't sell this to you until I take it out of my store. No, those are things that are your things to do, not my time to stand here and wait for you to do. Yeah, younger sellers are learning. We have to give them a little bit of space to try to figure it out. And there's so many marketplaces now. When I was a kid, I set up at shows when I was 12 years old, right? That was it. That was the only way you could sell cards. You couldn't sell cards online. You could put ads in newspapers or a couple of the magazine publications, if you wanted to sell some stuff. But honestly, it was, as a 12-year-old with no marketing or advertising budget, it was bring my shows to a card show, or bring my cards to a show, throw them out on the table and hope for the best. Now it's like these kids have so many different things to try to master with selling online, trying to sell in person, trying to build skills to deal with people in person. Those kids don't have those skills naturally because we don't use them very much anymore.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. So try to be as patient as you can with them. They are young. Teach them. Say, hey, probably isn't the best way to do this. As a buyer, I don't like it, and you're probably gonna run it. And they're gonna learn. If they're not selling any cards, they will change the way they do things. But like it or not, those are the kids that are going to grow up and stay involved in this hobby. They're going to be your customers. They're going to, they're going to be the ones that are going to grow the hobby. So you want to make sure that we can find a way to work with them as best as possible.
Yeah.
Luffy Joe says, I was at a card show last year and a guy had Playboy card packs in his junk wax box bin for all the kids. Yeah. I mean,
now, are they nudes or are they in the bunny, uniform?
I believe if I know what packs he's talking about, they are like public appropriate. They're not nude. Okay. It's just pictures of the different models, and yeah, most of them are in like the bunny things and stuff like that. So, but I don't know specifically what he's talking about. So, average days, I am seeing that more and more. None of inventory they have on eBay is priced, and I have to wait for pricing. Nope, I wouldn't do that.
So no wait.
I would. As soon as I have to wait, I'm gone. It's just too risky. I need to get to the boxes when I can get to them and get my stuff. If you're buying for your PC, that's different, or it's a specific, rare card you need, something like that. That's maybe a whole situation, but that's not what I'm doing when I'm there. That's why I never watched. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Yes, Charlie, the Lake Isabella area is nice up the mountains.
Yeah.
Jamie Croft is here. Welcome, Jamie. He says, hey, fellas. So, that caught us up. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Crazy town.
Yeah.
Thanks for your patience. I know it took a little longer to get into it. I really wanted to go over some of the non-sport stuff because, again, I thought it was important based on recent questions I've gotten and some recent conversations to just sort of show. And I just had recent activity where I did a lot of that. Wanted to show a little bit of what I did. So what time are we at? We're at about 20 after 10 here, our time. So I think we're going to probably close it up pretty soon. Is there anything you wanted to go over, Charlie?
No, I think we hit on everything. I see Max just clarified for us. He's never watched Star Wars, Adam.
Oh, Star Wars? Oh.
You don't find a lot that haven't seen Star Wars. I don't think it's pretty commonplace now. I think it's got a pretty mass following.
It definitely has like a huge place in pop culture. It's gone beyond the films. It's there's a whole world created with that. Outside the films besides, but yeah, Tusken Raider was a character in the movies, and he goes after. He's on Tatooine, so like a sand planet. Their nickname is Sand People, right?
Yeah.
And Luke is kind of, watching this happen down below, waiting. The Tuskens are bad guys, right? They're, I don't know exactly what you would call them, compare them to in real life, but
they're misunderstood. They're just trying to eke out an existence on a barren planet.
Let's just say you don't want to cross them, because they'll try to kill you. It's probably the best way to put it. Anyway, so they're kind of hiding out, and then this Tusken sort of comes over the top of them when they don't know he's there, and he's got this thing. It's called a gaffy stick, but essentially it's a big long stick, and he kind of pumps it like this, and through special effects, he only does it once, and then it like repeats. Do you ever notice that, Charlie? It's not actual. So they do it a few times, and then the sound effect that goes with it is like this screeching seal sound, which somebody mentioned earlier. And if that's what I sounded like, then that's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
He just kind of, and then he attacks Luke. So anyway.
And you got, if you watch the Book of Boba Fett, you get a new appreciation for the Tusken Raiders. You get to see their families and, hear their stories.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, they're just kind of they don't talk, speak English or anything like that. They're just kind of a bit character in the films. Patient Picker is here. Hi, guys. Shifted gears a little bit and have sports cards listed along with postcards. Enjoy
Nice.
history in general, and finding and listing both has sparked a new interest. Awesome. And that was why I got into non-sports. Everybody's like, you can't sell non-sports, and now that seems to be like the hot thing everybody wants is non-sports stuff.
Interesting with the postcards. I've actually so I was given some. I wouldn't call them collectibles necessarily. They're more historical things. Some newspapers, magazines, postcards, some foreign coins. I don't know, just randomly someone just gave me a bunch of stuff, and I haven't been sure what I want to do with them yet. So it's interesting to hear somebody selling postcards. I've been wondering if I should see if I can sell those.
I think it's kind of a cool play to put together, right? Because I mean, trading cards are essentially like a snapshot, a picture of history,
Yeah.
to some degree, sports history, movie history, whatever it is, and then the postcards is kind of right there. Your shipping supplies aren't going to be that different. The way you ship isn't going to be that different. Heck, even the way you store them wouldn't necessarily be that different. So I think it makes some sense. And I know postcards are a good seller. There's business, there's good business to be had there. And if you enjoy it, and it allows you to kind of flip off of sports cards for a while so you don't burn out on that and kind of go back and forth, I think it's awesome. Good for you. Good luck with that. I think I've watched maybe 20 minutes, not my cup of tea. Yeah, I mean, it's science fiction. A lot of people, if you're not interested in that,
I find that interesting though, because Max is a Pokemon guy, so it's that's you could also
true. Good point.
that sci-fi.
That's a very fair point.
Your pocket monsters.
And he says he's not a pretend sci-fi guy. Well, it's kind of it has to be pretend, right? It's science fiction. It's not real. So, yeah, I don't know. I love science fiction. So I'm on the opposite side of you, but I get it. You don't have to, not everybody likes the same thing. My wife can sit and watch home renovation shows all night, and nope, that's not for me. So you gotta go with what you're into. I do enjoy your longer videos too. Great to have on while doing other things. I learn a lot just listening. So thank you. Yeah, well, you're welcome. I'm happy to put it. It's funny because you get one side or the other. I get, don't make these videos that long, and then I like your longer videos. I like to play them in the background. Whatever. I've kind of gotten to the point with my channel where I like the feedback, and I'll make some videos based on feedback, but to some degree, I just kind of make what I want.
Yeah.
I sort of know what I like to make and what my regular viewers like to watch, and then I go with that. And sometimes I fancy, like I made a Monday sales day video a few weeks ago. That was a 3.5 hour video, because I have so many sales over the weekend. So I like doing that once in a while. I think it's fun to change it up a little bit. And then, when I posted today was, I don't know, 30 minutes, something like that. So something for everybody that way, right? Average Dave says, join the Discord, post your sales and pickups. It's a lot of fun. Agreed. We've made a pitch on that earlier. I'll do another one here. Yeah, we have a Discord server called the Dollar Box. Charlie and I are on there regularly, posting and having fun and answering questions and pitching in there. And the community has really grown, and everybody there has been participating and having a good time with it. If you want to join, you can go to this card app and look up the Dollar Box server. Join us there. Also, right here, it's coming up. Am I going to get it this time? I don't know. Why can't I do this?
Here it comes.
It's backing up a trailer. There it is.
First, the Patreon.
There's a Discord invite link there. You can, you can throw that in and join easily that way. It's of course free to participate in, so we'd be happy to have as many people on there as possible. And it allows you guys to pitch in and help some others, and ask things of others, as opposed to just listening to me and Charlie all the time. I mean, I know we're awesome, but there's a lot of there's a lot of other people here in this community that know a lot of things and share a lot of good things, and it's good to have a place for that. What's the Discord again?
Here it
It's
comes
the
right now. Here it
it's
comes.
the dollar
Camera drop.
box. But I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I'm ready.
Your finger in the Discord.
Oh, Charlie,
What? You're the one wiggling your finger up there like you're luring a fish.
stop talking. Here it is. Discord.gg something or other. That's just an invite code. You don't need that to join the Discord. You can literally just go to the Discord and look up the dollar box and join the server. It's got my regular logo on it. It's the open box with the dollar logo coming out, dollar sign coming out of it. So do that. If you need an invite, you can message me and I can send you an invite link to click to if you don't want to type it in. Postcards are crazy on eBay. Paper stuff, that's a word for this, does crazy numbers. On the Bay, if you have the right stuff. Yes.
Yeah,
Paper collecting is.
I gotta see what's there right now. Now you piqued my interest. Well, these aren't the postcards. These are some collector things that came with the WandaVision movies. But I think the postcards are more like historical stuff. So we got Vision and what's the other Vision's name? I forget. Yeah, WandaVision. I've been curious to see what I can do with these too, because we've framed a bunch of them in the past when the kids were younger, but now the kids are older and they're like, we don't care. So now it needs to find a new home.
I mean, try it, right? If you've got free listings available, put it up there and see if it sells. If it doesn't, you can always take it down.
Yeah.
It ain't no thing. Let's see. Scott says ephemera, I think is the word.
Yeah. For postcard collectibles, is that what the word is?
That's what the disease is.
That's what the disease. Oh, there they are. There's the postcards. I found them. Oh, they're black and white. They must be old people.
Old people. Of course they are.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic.
I love it. Well, as we market for that, you got Jimmy Stewart, you got
The Honeymooners.
Classic movie, you got Christmas. Oh yeah, those are easy.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even take The Godfather.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I should have taken a look at these sooner. They were just in a pile that someone dropped off for me.
Put those fuckers out there. There's money in those.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We can kind of finish up here. Charlie, can you please say, can I fix you some eggs, Marge?
Yeah. I mean, I was over at Mike's the other day to see if he had a new dollar box out, and when I go down there, then I like to go over by Margie and see if she wants me to fix her some eggs, eh?
Yeah, don't you know? And some Kraft dinner.
Some Kraft dinner, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
all right, let's see.
It's truthfully the accent. If you go like an hour or two north of us, it gets even heavier.
Yeah, the Yooper.
Yeah, the Yooper accent.
They call that the Yooper for the Upper Michigan folks. Let's see. I was wondering if we were going to get a Fargo reference.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, that one's so obvious these days with the success of that film. I have a friend who is retired and travels all over to buy vintage greeting cards, paper postcards. He does well selling them. I have no interest in a greeting card with a cat on it. Yeah, I could see that. Anything anybody wants to collect, you can sell.
Yeah, for sure.
I vote longer videos always. Love background material when I work.
Yeah.
So we'll keep making them, we promise. Ephemera.
There we go.
I've heard of Discord servers, but I have no clue. I think the term server intimidates me for some reason. All it means is we get our own space on their system so that we can create our own channels and topics. And think about like Reddit, right? Is kind of probably the best way I can describe it. So we create like our own little Reddit where we can have different topics and post different things, and channels, and our community can sort of control it on its own. But yeah, it's not, we don't get your personal information. There's nothing like that. It's just, that's just how they term it to assign our own space to what we want to do with our community.
Yeah.
How much is Patreon and what's in it? Okay, so I just have a $5 level. You know, it's not. I'm looking for just a way to get some extra support to try to help grow some things like StreamYard stuff, things for the channel. Like to do some more things with editing and better cameras and stuff like that. So that's kind of the goal with that. Um, but I'll generally put some parts of videos on there that I don't put on YouTube. I've got the poll running on there about what content Patreon viewers would like to see. I put a few picture posts on there, share some things that I don't share with the regular YouTube group. So just like some extra insights, some longer videos, some tips and tricks, things like that. It's kind of the common thing. Now, I just started this. I don't know, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, Charlie?
Yeah.
So there isn't a ton on there yet. Obviously, it needs to be built. I did do a little outtakes video on there, so that was kind of fun. You could see a chunk of video before I edit it and my fun screw ups and kind of how I go through my process of filming a video before it gets edited. So stuff that like your average YouTube viewer might not want to see, but maybe if you're into the channel and you like the videos that are being made, you'd want to see some more parts of. That's where you would get that extra stuff. So, but yeah, it would be $5 a month if you want to see any of the paid content. I don't have any unpaid content on there. There's really no point because I have YouTube, but yeah, if you want to see some of the bigger stuff. I was going to do that with this sales day video that I posted today. I just decided to just post the video and share it to everybody because the content was wide enough that anybody that views the channel would want to see it. So I kind of try to keep the Patreon for like the extras.
Are you gonna do some behind the scenes stuff like this is how the USPS gives me my bin of returned mail when they want more postage?
That would be the place where I would post that stuff. Yes. Hopefully that never happens again. But yeah, it's as a matter of fact, I got a return today for a postage, just one.
Did you really?
Yeah, but it's from like January or something.
What?
So yeah, that happens.
They just throw it in the corner until it builds up enough?
I don't know. So I have to go grab that. I forgot to bring it up here and see what it is. He's familiar with Patreon. Okay, that's good. I just kind of figured I'd try it as a project, right? If I have a few subscribers on there, monthly subscribers, so it does have a little bit of traction. But I just thought I'd try it and see if I'd been getting some messages about, oh, how can I support the channel and things like that. That'd be your way to do it. You can get a little extra content. Like I said, a few extra tips and tricks and a little behind the scenes type stuff. And it gives you your chance to contribute to the channel and help support it. So that's why I did it. Now, of course, the Discord is free. So if you just want to be involved in the community and those types of chats and see that information, that is definitely something that everyone should join. That doesn't cost you anything. Ephemera. Isn't that what I said?
I thought that was a character.
Ephemera. Right. Charlie, that's effing awesome. There you go. My family is from Wisconsin and Minnesota. I'm almost as good as you, Charlie, with that accent.
Family reunion to get your fill of it.
Something to be proud of, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to say no. Discord link has expired. Booger, I was worried about that because I just used the same ticker I had before. But I'll throw... Charlie, you can type a comment in there, right? I don't have a way to do that because I'm on the stupid phone.
Okay.
Let me go I'll get a new code and we'll put it in the comments here.
Okay.
And then you guys can use that for anybody on here that wants to join. But I got to log in because, of course, I'm not logged into it right now. So,
What?
No, I don't use it on my desktop. I use it on my phone.
How dare you?
Are you in it? Logged into it?
Yeah.
You want to go get a code? Just go get a code real quick. Click the little people button next to the server, and it should give you like an invite code. I'm just copy and paste it.
People button next to the server.
Well,
Hold on
that's
there,
what
little fella. You're not speaking my language.
that's what it looks like on the phone anyway.
Show member list, inbox, question.
There should be like an invite button, you know, like the plus people button. Oh wait,
invite people. Yeah, I gotta open a drop down for it. There we go.
Yeah,
Copy
yep,
that.
there you go.
Copy that, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and that I think it's good for a week. We're still kind of new to Discord, so we're sort of playing around with the tech side of things. But I believe that code.
You blocked me.
What?
I'm not an approved poster of websites and links.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
How do I change a check?
And you can set this link to never expire too, so that would be nice.
I wonder if I can do that. Oh, can you? See, I didn't. I probably should have done that. Let's see here.
Do you want me to share my screen and then you can approve that?
Do it. Light it up.
Send me the bill. Light it up.
Send me the bill.
Let's see. And there you go. You should have an option to share it right now.
No, ma'am. There it is.
Yeah. Maybe I can make it a little bigger for you.
Yeah, let me take the chat piece off. That.
Welcome back, Adam.
Yeah, I took us out of the stage so you couldn't hear us. Yeah, so that's going to be the not expiring code. So I'll have to get that and put that in the update the ticker and throw that one in there. I didn't realize there was a set to never expire button. So I thought they all expired over a period of time, but we're getting it figured out. So
yeah,
but yeah, join the Discord. You'll enjoy that. It's fun. No requirements to be on there at certain times, whatever. So how I learned Discord, or what I had used it for, was Pokemon Go back in the day.
Oh, really?
We had a local server, and people would post in there like, "Oh, hey, there's this Pokemon showing up here for the next 10 minutes. Come get it." Or there's 5 of us at this church. We need 1 more to take down a whatever Pokemon, and it was kind of fun. It was, and people would post in there, "Hey, I caught this," or I evolved this, or whatever. Back when Pokemon Go mattered. Globally mattered, I guess, more than the diehards that still play it. But yeah, it was good times. So,
all right, we'll bring her down.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for us. I'm pretty wiped. It's been a long week already. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, please do so. Consider the Patreon. I got that link there if you want to take a look at it. Of course, subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up, share it, do all those good things. And of course, list and ship and list. And we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Peace out. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Be safe.